So there's a new sniper out called Uzume, and it's very good. Good stuff. I think the reason Uzume RR4 is so exciting is because it's obtainable through Nightfalls right now. The Grandmaster in particular obviously drops the Adept version of Uzume, and so if you're a good PvP player or a good PvE player, or you're bad at everything, you can get an Uzume, which is good because it's good loot. It's very similar to Beloved stat-wise, which has a lot of people excited. Beloved was a famous sniper back in Season 7 with some generous aim assist, and Uzume feels pretty similar. What's more, since Uzume RR4 can get Adept drops, you can put on things like Adept Targeting or Adept Icarus Grip, and when you masterwork it, you get bonus stat points to every stat, not just the one that your masterwork is. This good base range of stats makes Uzume especially compelling, but on top of that, you can get some really nice rolls on this adaptive frame sniper like Snapshot, Explosive Payload, and Vorpal Weapon, which means you can headshot a super and kill it with an adaptive frame sniper. That means you're getting all the benefits of an adaptive like the faster fire rate and the lower zoom, which is especially nice, but you can kill a super in one headshot, which is really nice in PvP. I'm not going to get too much into the PvE perks because it's pretty clear that there are some good options, like Triple Tap or Vorpal, which is also good in PvP, or Clown Cartridge, Dragonfly. It's just good in really whatever setting you want to take it into. Now in the background, you're seeing PvP gameplay where I'm using mouse and keyboard, and some where I'm using controller too, so I tried it on both. I got a really nice roll last night, which was Snapshot and Explosive Payload, and really all you want on it is Snapshot. Although Snapshot Vorpal definitely would be considered the god roll. The ability to just kill a super outright in PvP in one shot is kind of one of the most valuable things in the whole game. So even though I don't have Snapshot Vorpal, I'm still plenty happy with Snapshot Explosive Payload because you can do kind of funny things where you shoot the ground next to someone and still get damage in, which is really nice. You can shoot people around corners. It's much easier to hipfire body shot, which is pretty cool. And that's an important part of using a sniper, is being able to freehand grip it and just hipfire it, and then follow up with a melee or some primary damage in the beginning, and the hipfire will kill then. It's an important part of a sniper, and Uzume is great even without explosive payload, but this just makes the job of the sniper a lot easier because they don't necessarily have to hit their target to put in damage, which is a pretty big privilege. Now, before we go much further, I want to take one more look at that chart comparing Uzume and Beloved, because I feel like Beloved is kind of the barometer that people use as like, this is a god tier sniper, and so if something can compare to this, as Uzume can, that's pretty exciting. So if you look at the stats behind the scenes here, you can see that Uzume starts out at a really healthy place stats-wise, so any perks you're getting on top of that, or targeting things you're adding on top of that, are just going to make it even better. So even though you can't get Quick Draw Snapshot like you could on Beloved, which is really nice, now you can get Snapshot Vorpal, which, I don't know, I think that might be better, to be honest. Obviously, a lot of snipers got changed, so Beloved still has considerably lower zoom, which is a thing that a lot of snipers look for, but because that isn't something you can get on adaptive frames anymore, 40 zoom that is, Uzume is the next best thing for people who want that Beloved feeling, or that adored feeling. But because you can't really get Snapshot Vorpal on any other adaptives right now, and because Uzume is so farmable in the Nightfall right now, everyone has their eyes on this sniper, and for good reason. Now, I know Grandmaster Nightfalls do seem pretty daunting, especially if you're a newer player, but Warden of Nothing is totally doable. I didn't have time to make a Nightfall guide this week, and I'm sorry about that. I just got back from vacation though, and it's important to take breaks. If you're new here, I usually make a guide video once a week or every other week for how to do the Grandmaster Nightfall, or just a high tier of the Nightfall, but only using budget loot, which is basically like loot that's really accessible that you can use even if you're free to play or if you just bought one season of Destiny. I think Destiny is really fun, and one of the best parts of it is that a lot of it is pretty accessible. Some of the endgame builds like just use Anarchy or just use Stasis are not particularly accessible, and I think when people hear that, they don't enjoy playing Destiny, and Destiny is worse when less people play it. So that's why I think it's fun to kind of look at difficult activities and say, okay, is this still doable in an effective way using different loot? And pretty much all the time, the answer is yes. It just comes down to playing safe and playing with your team and communicating. And I think that's one of the most fun parts of the game. So if you're in the market for an Uzume, I highly recommend you try out the Warden of Nothing Grandmaster this week. Get together 2 buddies who you can rely on and just don't die. As you get better at it, you can start using more high damage supers and high damage weapons, so you can just focus on taking out enemies and the boss as quickly as possible, and then that should work out for you. Obviously, things can go very wrong in a Grandmaster, like this situation where my Chaos Reach actually just pushed the boss off the edge of the map and then it teleported back after it had dodged most of our damage, so that was pretty frustrating. But there's only so much luck that's in Grandmasters, and eventually once you get used to finagling around the difficult ways to stun overload champions and not dying to silly things, I'm sure your team will be totally equipped to start farming Uzume. That's about everything I have to say about this sniper. Like I said, I think what makes it so exciting is that it's farmable. It starts with really nice stats at a base range, and you can get really compelling rolls like Snapshot and Vorpal and Explosive. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, also, thanks for 1,000 subscribers. Holy crap. We hit that while I was over vacation, which I was not expecting. So I'm working on a little thank you video, which I'll have around soon. Alright, catch you in the next one. Peace. It's not bouncing off you correctly. Maybe.
Oh, that was
a good one.
For me. That was amazing for me. The problem
yes, I got it.
Ooh.